Welcome back to Faith, Freedom, and Conspiracy. We are so happy you are with us. We are the Christian Women's Health Collective, and we have a doozy of an episode for you today. We were originally going to start this podcast talking about Advent and gratitude, but instead we went down a really good conspiracy road with, pedophilia, the Nephilim, end times prophecy. We kind of cover a whole gamut here, and it starts with the books that are being taken out of and put into schools that are just disgusting and horrible. So listen through the whole episode because we go off on one of our grand rants. We hope you enjoy it.
The name of the article is Texas School District Removes Convicted Prostitute from Multiple Roles, including oversight. Hold on. Of sex ed. So she's in the school board, and she's over the sex ed area, and she has actually even recently advertising online for escort service.
Oh, I feel like I saw a headline about her being an active prostitute.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's okay.
So she's in the school system. Yeah. She's been removed now, but she had multiple roles within the school system.
Well, did you guys see the news story about the two transgender teachers who were at the same school who were teaching and also on the side being prostitutes? And they somehow were like, well, we don't make enough money as teachers, so we have to do this on the side to make a living.
Well, look at how many of the teachers are coming out with OnlyFans accounts now. There are so many teachers with those OnlyFans accounts now. I mean, it's just like,
this is who you want to raise your children while you go.
Right.
No, it's like I would be homeschooling, so it would have been a workout.
So, yeah, so fast. Yeah,
I had a hard time with homework.
Were arrested or not. I don't know if they were arrested, and I can't remember what state that was in or where it was at, but that was recently, not very, a month or so ago. When I read that story, I was just like, what is the world coming to right now?
Well, I could go down a whole rabbit hole with the books in schools and
oh gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, they've been removing the books from our schools.
Well, that's good to hear. They've been removing them from the school districts in California that my church is active in.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. No, that was DeSantis put out something, and all the teachers were up in arms about the books being removed, and there were things that were said that was not true, and about which books were being removed, and now all the books that we've read for years are no longer allowed in schools. And it's like, no, that's not really it. It's the explicit ones.
Mm-hmm. It's the ones that the senators are reading in front of Congress and being told, you're making us uncomfortable, please stop reading this, but yet their children are supposed to read it.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. They cut the mic, or they cut. There was one I saw where the lady was reading it, and a police officer came up, and
I saw that
because she was showing the pictures in the book,
mm-hmm.
and he kind of came up and kind of closed it and walked off with it. So it couldn't be, but it could be in the school library.
Yeah.
So I actually had
school libraries. It's literally pornography.
Oh yeah.
I don't understand how it can be allowed in schools.
I'll tell you what, I had my time in my life when I read those raunchy romance novels in my early 20s. Those books in those elementary schools are 10 times more graphic than those novels were.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's horrifying. The kids have access
to
it.
No, it is. Yeah, that we had a speaker at one of the groups that I attend, and she was coming in, and that's what she does. She goes around the school and educates groups about what are in the books that are in the schools and what they're teaching. And it's horrifying. They're teaching, I guess I could say, oral and anal sex to kindergartners. I mean, why? Why is that acceptable? I don't understand it. And
absolutely.
Yeah, and there's books in the library that the librarians are kind of pushing the kids towards, if they, that are, explicitly have graphic scenes in them on, boys with boys and whatnot. And it's like, they don't belong in the schools. It maybe you can put it in the public library, but it doesn't belong in the schools.
Yeah. Well, and Scholastic,
I don't think it belongs anywhere except in a burn barrel.
Amen, sister.
I agree with you. But yeah, because I had a discussion about that with my teacher daughter. And I said I didn't find it acceptable, and got a little bit of pushback. And I said, not in a school. Not in the school.
No, it should never be allowed in schools.
No,
yeah,
and it's so hard to comprehend that it even been in schools. I mean, I like a juicy novel, don't misunderstand. But there's a difference in an adult and in a child and in a public place where children are gathering or being included, It's very hard to comprehend a librarian even mentioning a book of that nature to a child of any age.
Yep.
No, I agree. And I think that was a middle school one, because the kid got up and started reading the book and got shut down.
Oh, I feel like I saw something like that not too long ago.
Yeah. And because
it's like it's encouraging behaviors, I mean, and really it is, because you're sharing something with a child that's really, I think, not the proper way to share, but then it's also encouraging other behaviors in my mind when you're sharing it in a school.
Mm-hmm.
It's making it acceptable, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's encouraging promiscuity.
Why is we have to ask why.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things, and I don't know if I mentioned this before, but one of the things that the lady also told us was about, how they have that talk. For me, the talk was in 7th grade, and it was in our PE class. They separated the boys and the girls. Did I tell you guys about this? Mm-hmm. So they separated the boys and the girls heard what they were supposed to hear, and the boys heard what they were supposed to hear. Well, now they keep them all together, and it's done in elementary school, maybe later ages, 5th grade or whatever. And she said that they had up on the board, they were explaining, the girls had to come up and point to where they were in their menstrual cycle.
What?
There was like pictures.
In elementary?
I would have been absolutely, yes, and I would have been absolutely mortified. I think it was that maybe it was 5th grade or 6th grade, because they get their periods younger now.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother topic. But
what?
Yeah. Yeah. So that, I would have been absolutely mortified to have to do that. Yeah. But yeah, they had made the girls get up and show where they were. This is in Florida. This is in Florida, the Free State.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
For life.
These are the things,
that these are the types of things that damage people for life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
They can carry this shame around for an entire lifetime.
Absolutely.
That's awful.
Wonderful.
But you said, Sherry, that DeSantis was the one that was on the push to clean up textbooks and things like that.
Yes. So, he is currently, that's been a push at the beginning of the school year, or the end of the last school year. They were pushing for that. I don't know what's going on with it right now, but that was some initiative that was there, I think, prior to him running for office. So I don't know what's going on now. I have a question.
Do you care if I ask?
Mm-hmm.
There's been something on my mind about him. So, and you'll have to forgive me, Bree, maybe you'll know, maybe one of you will know, but in the Bible, there is and this crossed my mind. In the Bible, there's this lady who she her father was dying, and because he in like when your family would die, it would say that all of your assets would go to your boys. Well, he didn't have boys; he had 2 girls, and so the way that the story was written was that she went to Jesus, and everybody, Moses was like, "No, the law is the law," and she's like, "No, but I don't agree with this, and I think there should be a change." And so she went to God and was like, "Hey, like this is the way it's written, but I don't think this is right. Can we change it?" I just answered my own question. And he said, "Yes, we're going to change it. You can have the estate." Do y'all know which story I'm talking about?
Yes, it's in the Old Testament.
In the Old Testament. Okay. Well, at that moment, and I think I answered my question. Dang it, I hate when that happens. But in my moment, I was like, well, DeSantis, because I want him to be so good. I might not, it should have mentioned politics on here. But anyway, like I'm like, when he changed the laws, I wonder if he did them because he was thinking, I'm doing this for the benefit of the people. Like if him being president really will make a difference in these kinds of things. But anyway, I think I answered my question.
I don't understand. What was
Maybe
your
you think
question?
Well, that he changed the laws because he thinks that him being president will truly like benefit the people. By him being president, I guess.
There was laws changed. There was a election integrity bill that came through that actually reversed a lot of the election integrity issues that we had pushed like the year before. We had gotten a bill and things put in place for election integrity that was like here. And they brought in this bill that actually lowered the election integrity issues. So it wasn't as strong on election integrity in the state of Florida. And it also changed the laws so that DeSantis could run for office, because it said that you could not be holding the office of governor and running for president at the same time. So that law also got changed, and he signed it into law.
Interesting.
Most politicians will do whatever they need to do to advance to the level they want to get to. It's no different than Newsom. Newsom will do anything, no matter how corrupt it is, to get California where he wants it to be and to set his platform to run for president, which we highly anticipate is going to happen in 2028.
Sure.
It happened sooner.
It could. I don't know, though. I'd be surprised if he went on the docket. I saw something today that Hillary Clinton might add herself back to the docket.
What?
Mm-hmm.
No shit.
Yeah.
This is just the soap opera of the USA.
It
It
is.
really
Well,
is,
if you
Julie.
really want to throw your tinfoil hat on, there are people out there who believe that it's all planned anyway. So it really doesn't matter what we say or do. It's planned who's going to be the next president every single term. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. I'm not sure it was planned when President Trump won. I don't think that was planned. Some people may think so, but I don't.
I have a girlfriend who
I don't think it was planned. Yeah, but I don't think it was planned by the powers that were trying to get Hillary in. Hillary was the plan.
Maybe not.
Hillary was the plan, because she was supposed to come in behind Obama and continue what they were doing, which is now what Biden is doing, and taking our country down.
Have you guys seen that that information, that school project that I don't know, I think 6th grade or somewhere did the school project on how all of the presidents are related? Like every single one is related except for Trump. And there was one other president from like a long time ago, I think, that wasn't related. But all of them, even Obama, is related to all of the previous presidents. They're all related. They're all in the same like family tree and line and stuff, which I find extremely interesting.
So who's the host
Mhm.
family, Sherry? Is it
Well,
Rothschild?
there's a lot of the Rothschilds is one of them, but there's more
Right.
above that, even the Rothschilds. But yeah, that's the Rothschilds is one of them. But there's like 7 families, I think. But then I understand there's more above that, so it goes pretty deep. But I don't know who I don't recall who the other one was, but I knew Trump was not. Trump was also the only president who didn't have slaves or something like that. So it was like in his ancestry.
Oh,
They
really?
didn't have what?
Slaves.
There was
Slaves,
no
his
slaves
ancestors.
in his ancestry.
Was never a slave
All
owner.
the other presidents, no, there were no slave owners in his ancestry.
Isn't
That's
that interesting?
interesting.
See, I really think he was God's wild card. Like, I don't think they planned on that. You know, all of the I don't know, elites or whatever who run our elections and everything. I don't think they planned on Trump. So
I
don't
don't
know.
think they did
Well,
either. He's
what's
done
interesting,
too much destruction for, I think, what they had planned, which is
yeah,
why it's gone really crazy right now.
yeah.
The last
It's
few years.
interesting too to see the people say, like Trump, we're sorry that, we spoke bad of you. We want you back. Like Trump, come back, come back. That's been interesting to see.
Mm-hmm.
There've been some big people come out that have endorsed him. Like I didn't realize this, but the guy who owns Home Depot, who came out and did an endorsement for him, he's like 92 years
Oh,
old.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I
Really?
don't care for everything that he says, but he does what he says he's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, and that's what we need. He goes, he may not say things that are, perfect by no means,
Right.
that may ruffle our feathers, but he's doing what the country needs. And so that is, sometimes we have to take the good with the bad,
We do.
But,
We do.
yeah.
It makes me think like this. If you go to the doctor, when you go to the doctor, what kind of doctor would you rather see? The doctor that has the best bedside manner and is so nice to you, or the doctor that is good and resolves your problem? I'm like, the doctor that's good, who cares about his bedside manner? And I think that's the way I feel about Trump. He's doing good. We need somebody to stick up and fight for us.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He so far is the
rough
only
around
one
the
who's
edges.
shown true patriotism to this country, in my opinion. In my
Mhm.
life that I can actually remember, because I know Reagan was a true patriot too, but I was so young when he was in office, I don't remember much about his presidency. I
Yeah.
just know what I learned about him, but Trump definitely has shown much more true patriotism and love for this country than anybody else.
Mhm.
I also learned, it might have been on one of the conspiracy videos that I've listened to, the Bushes are actually pretty liberal, which makes sense because they're so chummy with the Clintons, but they're pretty
Mhm.
liberal people.
And if you want to go down the conspiracy path, Senior Bush had something to do with JFK Jr. or JFK's death.
Hmm.
So we'll
Really?
see. We'll see if that's true.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, all that stuff's starting to
Mhm.
come out now. JFK's death
Not Junior, but
investigated again.
yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
Interesting.
it's all there. It just hasn't been released.
Hmm.
It's
Mm.
so President Trump was going to bring it out, and I think he will as soon as he's back. That it'll be brought out. I think the timing wasn't right for it. Maybe.
Yeah. I heard that, I read that the conspiracy on the guy from Friends that died recently, he was getting ready to expose pedophilia in Hollywood, and they knew it.
Mhm.
Really?
Hmm.
That's interesting. And it wouldn't
There's a
surprise
lot
me.
of them.
They
Not at all.
silence everyone. Oh, the one that got me the other day is someone was wearing a shirt or something that said, I think I saw it online. It was like was it like a boxer or something that said, we still haven't, or Trump has been indicted for no for no reason, but we still don't uh we still haven't prosecuted anyone on Epstein's client list.
That's all over. That meme is everywhere right now. And
Is
so
it everywhere? I've only seen it once, and I
Mhm.
was just like, "Oh, yes." Like,
Yep.
it is so frustrating.
Pedophilia is so rampant and so disgusting in the elite echelon of this country. It
Yes, and here's the thing, all of that trash that they're endorsing in public schools, it's all grooming
it's 100% grooming.
for pedophilia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's
It's just
So you
horrifying.
want
what do they call the gay people who are attracted to young kids? What do they call that?
minor attracted,
Minor attracted. Yeah.
That's what they're grooming it
Mhm.
towards, so that pedophilia is just, it's accepted.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it's
here's some
horrifying.
conspiracy for you, although I believe it's accurate. I think it's Macmillan. Isn't that the books in the
Oh
schools?
yeah.
Or-
McMillian. Yeah.
So yeah, so the owner of that is Ghislaine Maxwell's dad.
Really?
Oh, yeah, they own a bunch
Oh,
of book
that's so
publishing
not
stuff.
surprising. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay,
All the
I read somewhere else, and I have not verified this, that Ghislaine Maxwell's sister owns some of the companies that do, like, the voting machines or the vote counting or something to do with the voting,
oh,
and I was
interesting.
just like,
The Dominion. I would doubt it. But
I
they're
don't
all
know,
like
I
tied
don't know, I don't
together.
know. This is unverified, so I don't know, I'm just throwing things out there.
Y'all research that.
Right? Do your research.
What
Do
we
your
find.
research.
That's right.
Yeah, because I can't remember if that's what it was, but I know it had something to do with the voting, and I was just like, "What? What?" Like, all of these things are connected somehow, and it's just like that, have you guys ever seen that, what is that chart where it's like all the companies in the world, but and then who owns them and who
Oh
owns them
yeah.
and who
Like
Yeah.
owns them, and, like, everything is owned by one company,
BlackRock.
They're not the only one, but yeah, they're the
Vanguard.
highest up. Vanguard,
Yeah,
State
there's
Street.
the 2. Yeah. Anyway, which is just like
BlackRock thing.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of the media companies are owned by, like,
One
Yeah.
company, yeah. They're all owned by
Mhm.
one company.
So
All the
Yeah.
food
Which
aren't
is
the
why they
pharmaceuticals
all
owned by
say
one
the same
company.
thing.
Yeah. Mhm.
Mockingbird Media.
yeah. So from a biblical perspective, all of this pedophilia and everything going on, I believe personally is the return of the Nephilim. So
Mm.
the Nephilim were the gods that were worshipped, and they were, Moloch and Ishtar. And I don't know if they were the actual Nephilim. I might be wrong on that one, but Moloch and Ishtar and what was the other one? Baal are the 3 gods that are starting to evolve again because we are becoming more and more evil. And Moloch was the god of child sacrifice. And you look at our abortion industry, and you look at our fertility industry with all the IVF and the destroying of embryos, and then you look at the child pornography, which is all what Ishtar, or what's her other name, and what's the other name she's known by, Asana, is that right?
I don't know, I don't
Anyway.
remember. Something
Anyway,
like that.
she is the goddess of war, she's the goddess of love, and she is all about LGBT, that whole thing. And then of course child sacrifice, but in the love aspect of it. So there's your pedophilia. And then I forget, Ball's the bull, right? Money. So
Yeah.
he's our Wall Street. He's, the evil that comes with all the money. And the more we see happen that's so public and accepted, the more we see that that's the world that's where we're trekking to, and prophecies are being fulfilled over and over and over again as we move into the gods returning. And I love that book, Return of the Gods, because it's taught me so much about why we're seeing what we're seeing today. It's all supposed to be happening, but it's so hard to watch and not fight, which is what we're here to do, and just bring that awareness. So
Yeah. Agreed.
There's your biblical perspective. Read about Baal and Moloch and Ishtar.
Yeah.
Bad.
I'm
What?
gonna have to read about them. I'm not as well
It's
versed as
super
I should
interesting.
be.
I want to share this too because I think this is kind of shocking. Like in the Bible when it talks about the Antichrist coming, it says that he will not be attracted to women, or it says that he'll have no love for women, or it says something to that effect. And so it never occurred to me that the Antichrist might be gay.
I did not know that either.
That is interesting.
I'm looking that up right now because I want to reference
transgender, like all of this like gender confusion stuff, that like how much that is in our world right now. I think it's the spirit of the Antichrist, like in our world right now, that we need to be praying against as Christians.
Yeah.
But it says that when it describes him. Did you find it?
That you say that too, because like with all of some of these latest killings and stuff in schools, they've been trannies, and so that's something that we've talked about as well. And here is, could it be what we've always thought was something different?
Yeah. Well, and this false deity, this oh, what is it called? Like the image that they use for Satan, like Baphomet, like for the Church of Satan and stuff like that, is transgender, like half and half.
Yeah.
Yes, like thing plus animal parts and all the other things. Anyways, terrible, but also totally evil. Represents Satan.
Yeah, so it's in the prophecy of Daniel 11:37 says that the Antichrist will neither shall he regard the gods of his fathers, nor the desire of women, nor regard any god, for he shall magnify himself above all. So it's basically saying the Antichrist will be androgynous. And how many androgynous people do we have in this world right now?
Right. See, here's the thing. Oh, I just got chills. Anyways, my husband was the one that pointed this out to me because I was just like, what? And once you see that, you can't unsee it in our culture now. But like 10 or 20 years ago, if you had told me that, I'd be like, I don't know if that's what that means, But now, like, it's easy to see, It's crazy.
Yeah, and when you look at how far the push is going toward transgenderism, it makes so much sense now. So does that mean that the Antichrist will be a transgender? I mean, thank God we're not going to be here to see it, but it's just so fascinating.
It's really interesting, isn't it?
Guessing game is overwhelming sometimes. Putting all the pieces together.
We do know we'll be fooled by it,
Well, not everyone. That's what God says. Do not be deceived. Or Jesus said that. It's up to us not to be deceived and not to let the wool be pulled over our eyes. That's the reason it's all about staying in the Bible.
Yes, it's up to us to be listening to the Holy Spirit, His direction and teaching. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. Have you guys seen any of the interviews with the new president of, I think it's Venezuela? Is it Venezuela? I think it's Venezuela. Argentina. Thank you. Yeah. I was like, it's not Venezuela, is it? Argentina. Yes. Have you seen any of the interviews?
But I know he's super conservative and Christian.
Oh,
he's very well loved.
Like a section of the best interview with him. What was it? Oh, because the interviewer, I can't remember who was interviewing him. I don't know. Anyways, he asked him, what advice would you give to the United States right now so that we don't go the way of Argentina with their, 2000% inflation and like all the horrible things going on there? And his answer was so good. Just about what led up to their fall, basically, and how much work he has to do. And he's just like, you have to be vigilant constantly. You cannot let the wokeness take over. You cannot let the wokeness take over. And it was such a huge warning for the US. Anyways, if you can find it, I would encourage you to go listen to that. If I can find it, I'll share it because I can't remember who was interviewing him. But it was so good. Who was interviewing? Oh, it's Tucker Carlson.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it.
It was Tucker Carlson. He asked him that question. So go listen to that clip on his site or whatever. But
Twitter.
Oh my goodness, it was so good. Yeah.
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 Yeah. We'll link it in the
Yeah,
show notes.
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just
I want to
such a
see that
warning.
too.
I think everyone in the US needs to hear that. I was just blown away. So I was like, wow, okay, we need someone like this back running our country.
Well, yeah. Did you hear what our fool
Right.
president said today about our inflation being it's something to do with like 9% or whatever less than it was this time last year or something?
Oh.
I'm like,
who said that?
Our fool of a president. Talk about grasping at straws.
Where's he getting that from?
Knows.
Nobody
He'll
knows.
chew anything
Nobody knows.
somebody
They
tells
made
him
it
to
up.
say. Huh?
Teleprompter?
Right. Just say what's on the screen. You don't need the facts.
Does he realize how high?
Oh my gosh.
Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this podcast. And if you have any of your own thoughts around conspiracy, pedophilia, whatever the case may be, drop them in the comments below. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share this video. The more you share it, the more people we reach. And we really want to drive the algorithm here on Rumble. We're really happy to be on this platform. In the meantime, we will see you next week or in the week after. We're not sure yet, but one way or another, we hope that you are having a grand December, and we will catch you next time. Bye.